What is up, guys? Welcome on back to the final mock draft of 2025, and I think I'm gonna do a 3-round this time. It's gonna be longer, but hopefully it'll be entertaining. I guess I'll feel things out as we go. I'm just curious to see how the draft's gonna work out with Miami. I did one yesterday, and I didn't like the recording, but also because I wasn't sure who to draft where, so now I've kind of already done it. So I kind of know where to go from this point. So anyway, if you've never been here, welcome. How I do my mock drafts, or just kind of how I would do it if I was in the GM chair. Similar to kind of, I just saw Colin Cowherd do one like this. He does it exactly how I do them. And I'm not trying to guess who these teams get, because you never know who they're going to get. I'm trying to guess who I think they should get, but you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll do slow here just in case, because I usually just kind of I'll manage that, but we'll do all 32 teams at 3-round. All right, so with the very first pick, I've been saying this from day one. I don't think Cam Ward is a good fit in Tennessee. I just don't. They have a brand new coach. They've got a young team and all that stuff. And I think Cam Ward needs to go somewhere where he can kind of grow a little bit as far as with the coach and everything. But he's already kind of got a team around him, or at least players that he can kind of get the ball to and everything. I just think Tennessee is they need so much shit that it's almost better for them to go grab a veteran who can kind of manage a team that's not as talented and then work on like other things like defense and stuff like that. So if I was Tennessee, personally, I think the best player in the draft is Jalen Walker. That's who I'd grab. I love Abdul Carter. I think he's awesome. You can put him there as well. I just think Jalen Walker's a little more NFL ready. I think he's more versatile, and they're the same kind of player. They're kind of linebacker, edge, rusher kind of guys. I just think Jalen Walker does it better. You can debate me all you want if you'd like. I just think Jalen Walker's going to walk in the NFL and be one of the better players, defensive players in the league. And I think you don't pass up on that for a guy who's kind of a question mark. Cameron Ward is not the most mobile. I don't know why they're saying he's mobile. He's not. I'm a Hurricanes fan. I live in South Florida. I've watched every game. He's not mobile at all. He's not. He's not handicapped or anything, but he's not mobile. He's a step under Tom Brady. I mean, he's really not that mobile. He's got Cameron Ward has an above average arm. He makes a lot of ballsy fucking throws. Like I can't tell how many throws he made. I'm like, yeah, that would fly in the NFL. And he did it a lot. And the Hurricanes, not like they have a hard schedule. So they did well. He was great for the Hurricanes. I appreciate what he did. For Tennessee, I don't know if it's a good fit. I would not pick him there. Now, the Browns, I was looking at their roster. I don't know what their plan is. If I were the Browns, I have so much invested in Deshaun Watson, you may as well have him play again this year. But I know that relationship's fucked up, but I'm looking at this from a perspective of a new person coming in. Now, if he's got 1 year left on his deal, I'm not extending him, but he's making so much money and he's such a salary cap hit, and he does have talent. I may as well just have Deshaun Watson there. So with that being said, I would grab Mason Graham. I think Mason Graham, if you want to give Myles Garrett a better shot at being more comfortable and being less double teamed and things like that, don't put someone on the other side. Put someone next to him who's good. So I think Mason Graham, not just that, I think Mason Graham fits the Browns culture, the Browns organization, the Browns fan base. I just think he looks like a Cleveland Brown to me. So, the Browns are best when they're dirty and they're gritty and because it gets cold there and stuff like that. I just think Mason Graham would fit the Browns perfectly. I mean, trust me when I tell you, I think Mason Graham would have a bigger impact on that defense than Carter would. I just really do. It's not necessarily better to throw someone good on the other side, because you're not really helping the person on the opposite end, unless you're just unblockable, which I don't think Abdul Carter is. I think he's very blockable. In fact, I've seen him being sucked up in blocks a lot. And he's lighter on his feet, so that's why I like Jalen Walker better. Jalen Walker's more of a stout kind of player. He'll bull right through you, or he'll go around you, or he'll hit your running back and knock him the fuck out. So I love Jalen Walker. I think Abdul Carter's a little bit more one-dimensional than Jalen Walker is. I think Jalen Walker's a lot more versatile, and he can do everything. And I think he's just as good, if not better, of a better pass rusher than Carter is. Anyway, If I'm the Giants, Brian Daboll's great with quarterbacks. They have a good young receiver. I think he's a great fit for Cam Ward. I would grab Cam Ward here, even though I'm not a huge fan of him, but I do think this is one of the teams he would be good on. They're building something pretty good out there, I think, in New York. And I think grabbing Cameron Ward, because if Cameron Ward can hone in some of his like kind of gunslinging shit, he'll be fine. He'll be okay. I don't think he'll ever be like Cameron Ward's like his top tier potential to me is above average starter. That's what he is to me. I don't see special with Cam Ward. I do think he can make a team who's good better. But someone like Tennessee, who's starting like all over again. Just go get a fucking veteran for now, build up your defense and offensive line and all that, and then go grab your quarterback. And then at the end, go grab receivers. Receivers to me are like, when you're wrapping a present in the process of wrapping a gift, the receivers are the bow when you're building your team. They're just kind of the bow at the end. And then you can move on. A lot of these teams grab good receivers too early. All right, guys, I'm going to take a break real quick. I'm going to pause real quick just to bring I have an ice pack on my neck. I've got neck issues, so I'm just bringing it back real quick. If I don't edit it, I apologize. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. So if I don't edit that, I do apologize. I probably will. I wrote it down, but who knows? I can be brain dead at times. Anyway, the Patriots. If I'm the Patriots, a lot of people putting Will Campbell there. You could put Abdul Carter there, no problem. If I'm the Patriots, I grab M'Boo. I grab him to start solidifying the offensive line. I'm very high on him. A lot of people are high on him, but not. I've seen him play. The guy's a brick house, man. I like him a lot. He's kind of an old school tackle. I think he can play either side. And I just think you got something in Drake May. And I think you kind of focus on helping him out. You can grab players later. And pass rushers are always going to be in the draft. You can always pick someone up. There's going to be someone cut in the preseason. I just think that like they can probably call the Dolphins up and go grab Bradley Chubb for cheap. I'm not kidding. I mean, it's just like there's other options out there. I think getting a really good high-end offensive lineman would really help them out. I don't know if there'll be anything like more than above average, but even if you get an above average tackle, at least he's plug and play. I just think Abdul Carter's, like I said, he's very good. I just don't know if he'll make them much better. I think this guy here will make a little bit of a difference to help the quarterback. But you could put Travis Hunter there, Will Campbell, Abdul Carter. I don't have a problem with that. All right, so the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is where I kind of changed things up a little bit. I was looking at their roster, and they're very talented. I think they need things on offense. I've been putting I think Tyler Warren there. But I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in here, only just to kind of peek, to put on the radar that this is a very, very viable thing that could happen. Don't be surprised. I started calling this with Bijan Robinson, but no one had Bijan Robinson until like the very end going to the Falcons. I think JT is an absolute option. He's an absolute option to the Jaguars because they have Travis Etienne who can't stay healthy, and they have Tank Bigsby who, quite frankly, is just he's not nearly as good as JT. So if I'm them and we have this franchise quarterback and we have kind of uncertainty at the running back position, and you got like a guy like JT who's kind of a guy like that only comes around like once every like 5 or 6 years, I would just grab JT if I'm them. He makes their offense instantly better and takes a lot of pressure off of Trevor Lawrence. I think, do not be surprised. Don't be blown away if a team has to move up into that spot to grab JT, because the Jaguars will probably at least highly consider grabbing him there. And by the way, Travis Hunter's dropping for me simply because he's come out and he's like, hey, if you don't play me both sides, I'm going to quit football and all that. I think that's a massive turnoff. If I'm going to give you an opportunity in the NFL, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to live your dreams, at least listen to what the fuck I have to say. If I think you need to play corner at first or something like that, don't come in and tell me what to do. Like, what I mean? Like, it's not the NBA. You can't just come in and start running the goddamn show. So if Travis Hunter's, I'm not going to say anything about his personal life, but Travis Hunter, I like him as a player. I think he's overrated. I think he's going to be very good eventually, but I do think he's kind of a project. He looks like he weighs about 180 pounds. once he grows into his frame and he gets mentally right, he'll be elite. But I would pass on him for now, especially someone like JT there. And I just think these teams need other things. But I do like Travis Hunter as a player. He's very, very exciting. All right, the Raiders, cornerback, running back, wide receiver, safety, defensive tackle. See, now this is where Travis Hunter can go. This is where, because he's got Pete Carroll there. I think Pete Carroll will be good about reining him in with that kind of stuff. This is a lot of these players, these young guys, fit is a big fucking thing. So if I'm the Raiders, I would grab Travis Hunter here. I would grab him there. They need a corner, a receiver. He can play both. But I also think that Pete Carroll can kind of rein him in a little bit. I think Pete Carroll's he's good with that stuff. He's good with players, like a player's coach. So I think Travis Hunter's a great fit with the Raiders. And I think he would kind of bring some life back into that franchise. I'm aware that he'd like quarterback and stuff. You're at least a younger one, but I think Hunter would be good. He would be good there. You can play him half and half or whatever. All right, the Jets. Offensive lineman, wide receiver, quarterback. Damn it. This is a tough one because the Jets, they need so much, and they've got a premier player sitting here dropping. But then they also need a quarterback. Which I think in the long run, Abdul Carter is going to be the better player. So I'm trying to weigh all that. And then you have Will Campbell. The Jets are another team, but they do have Justin Fields. They do have Justin Fields. You know what? If I'm the Jets, I'm going to grab Tyler Warren. They need a tight end. If they have Justin Fields, someone like Tyler Warren will really help him out. And I would not grab Sanders. I don't hate Sanders. In fact, I think Sanders can be very, very good. I just think he's kind of I think these quarterbacks are overrated. I don't think they should be drafted that high. A lot of like these quarterbacks all need to sit. All right, Carolina. I'm grabbing Abdul Carter here. Abdul Carter here for Carolina. That'd be beautiful. I don't think he's going to drop there, but I do think someone like Jalen Walker will go there. It's funny, Jalen Walker's rated way lower than he should be on this, like way lower. I think Jalen Walker, don't be surprised if Jalen Walker is taken very high. Don't be surprised. So I'm telling you right now, the guys who know football and been watching it for a while and all that, they know he's the guy. He's the man. Anyway, the Saints. The Saints, this would be the spot where you would consider someone like a Shedeur Sanders. Man, I wish I could click this and see the roster. But it says they need guard, receiver, corner, edge, running back. I like Will Johnson. I just don't know if he's... Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm assuming the Saints are keeping Derek Carr and going forward with him. That's my guess. Can he play guard? God, look at the roster real quick because it's hard to tell what they need. It's really difficult. Oh my gosh, sorry. I don't want to pick Shedeur Sanders here. That's kind of, it's like, do they need anything else? Like, I hate to say it, and like I said, I'm not low on Shedeur Sanders. I just don't think he's good enough to go that high. So they run a 34 defense. Okay, that's right. I forgot about that. I don't know if they're switching. They got Brian Brees, Godchild. They're okay in the middle. I think they need a linebacker, to be honest. Tackle. Fuck this shit. I'm grabbing Will Campbell. I don't like their offensive line. I think they need tackle, not guard. I think their guards are better than their tackles. I'd grab Will Campbell here. And then you figure your quarterback out later. I just think that I don't think there's a big difference between the first round pick guys and the second round pick guys in the core as far as quarterbacks go. I think maybe one or two quarterbacks in this draft will work out to be a starter, and they won't even be special. I think this quarterback class is very average. All right, anyway, the Bears, tackle, running back, safety, edge, linebacker. As far as offensive line goes, the good tackles are leaving, and there's only a certain amount of good tackles in this draft. I would highly consider Banks here. Who's the running back? Why does it say they need running back? I thought they had a good one. Hold on. Or a couple of them, anyway. I thought they had good running backs. They're serviceable running backs. Not good, but they're serviceable. See who their running backs are. See, their DBs are. They have a lot of DBs. Holy shit. Oh, they consider like everybody DB. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I think the Bears are in the spot to pick players who are going to come in and start right away. So they've got to get a guy who's going to come in and play right away. Oh, I know who I'd get if I were them. I know exactly who I'd get if I were them. Their offensive line's not great either. Yeah, the Roschon Johnson, DeAndre Swift, those two guys, you can fucking go a season with those two guys. Johnson and Swift are both good backs. I don't know why they'd say they need them. All right. They had Durham Smythe, a good blocker. Okay. If I am them, I am grabbing Jihad Campbell. Now, their linebackers aren't the best. Jihad Campbell is not, honestly, is not much worse than Abdul Carter. I'm not even sure if he is. Jihad Campbell and Jalen Walker, to me, are my two favorite players in the draft. They're very, very similar guys. They can both play middle linebacker. They can be your edge rusher. They can do everything. Someone like a Jihad Campbell would be great in Chicago. I feel would be great in Chicago. I know they need linemen as well, but their linemen are solid. They're not horrible, so they can kind of get one later. Their linebackers are kind of weak, and a guy like Campbell, you can stick a C on his chest, and he'll be really good there. I think that's the fit. I know a lot of people are going to put offensive line there, but I think you can kind of wait and get the second tier of offensive linemen and just have a bunch of depth at offensive line there. Now you could go someone like a Josh Simmons. You could go easily Kelvin Banks. My problem with Kelvin Banks is he's very, very, when you watch his film, he's either dominating the guy in front of him or he's getting the shit kicked out of him. He's kind of slow. I don't know why he's ranked so high. His footwork's kind of slow. The better tackle here, to be honest, is Josh Simmons. Is way better. I don't know why he's ranked so low. I know he had the injury, but Josh Simmons is fucking awesome. He's very good. He's fast on his feet. He can play guard or tackle. He goes out like when he was playing tackle, he was going out like when they were doing like screen passes in the front and not bowling over corners and shit. He's great. He's very athletic. I don't know why this guy here's just big and he's just kind of like concrete in his fucking boots, and it's hard to get around him. But he's not special. He's okay. Like if you need a tackle, you can get him, but don't expect him to be elite. He could be. If his footwork and if he gets lighter on his footwork, he can be spectacular. Like his ceiling's very high, but I just think Jihad Campbell's a plug and play guy. I think that's what the Bears need right now. The Bears need guys you can plug and play. All right, the 49ers. In fact, the 49ers will be pissed if that happens. All right, 49ers, defensive tackle, corner, linebacker, edge. I really, really, really like, the more I watch him, the more I like him, is Walter Nolan. I would grab Walter Nolan at Ole Miss. Walter Nolan is kind of in the build mold of like an Aaron Donald. Not saying that he is, but that's kind of where he's built. Like he's more of a pass rushing kind of like defensive tackle. I think he'll fit well there. He's only 21 years old. I love Nolan a lot. I think he's got a lot of potential to be really good, and he looks very strong. So, he's only 21. He can put 10, 15 pounds on and still play light, and he's really good. He's a good athlete. I would definitely pick him over. Who's the other defensive? This guy, Derek Harmon. Derek Harmon's good. Derek Harmon's just the bigger, strong guy. I think Walter Nolan's got all the talent in the world. All right. Using draft. All right, Cowboys. Running back, edge, guard, corner, wide receiver. I think it's a good spot for McMillan here. I think it's a good spot for McMillan because I do think that CeeDee Lamb needs someone else, and I think McMillan would be good for McMillan to go to a team where he can kind of grow a little bit because he's a little bit of a project, but he can be good. So like McMillan can maybe come in and grow, and then if they can't sign Lamb or something like that, he can step in as number one guy, or they can just have two really good receivers. I'm not in the business of kind of rebuilding a team and grabbing a receiver, but I think that the Cowboys are talented enough to where as long as they put some good players here and there to make things easier on other people, I think they can be pretty good pretty quick. They just need to make the right decisions on drafting and stuff like that. So I think McMillan is a good spot there. I think it's a good spot. Not that I'm overly high on him. I just think that, like I said, he could grow in that franchise very, very, very easily, become great here. All right, the Miami Dolphins. Guard, tackle, defensive tackle, safety, linebacker. The Dolphins are desperate for a tackle. I'm grabbing Simmons. I think he's the best tackle available. And then we're going to start going corner later because the Dolphins are absolutely desperate for corner and safety. They're absolutely desperate for it. So anyway, and I would grab Simmons. Yesterday when I was doing kind of this mock draft, I grabbed the corner first and then the lineman just sucked. So I'm doing the opposite today. I'm going to grab Simmons and then we'll start grabbing corners. So the corners seem to be a little bit more deep as far as where the Dolphins are drafting. It seems to be deeper for them at corner. For, like I said, for the position they're drafting at, because where they're at, a lot of the linemen they might be able to get will be drafted before they can pick. So anyway, the Colts, the Dolphins are in trouble, by the way. The Dolphins are drafting for their next coach. They're not drafting for this guy. The Dolphins season's done. So if you're a Dolphins fan, don't expect much. They're not going to be good this year. I don't expect Tyreek Hill or Mike McDaniel to last the season. I think they'll both be gone. And they should have traded Tyreek Hill 2 years ago. I've been saying that for 2 years. Not that I don't like Tyreek Hill as a player. It's just off the field. It's a fucking mess. All right, so the Colts. Tight end right there, Loveland. A lot of people are saying Loveland's better than Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren's already gone, so just grab Loveland. And if you're going to have Richardson, you got to go all in on helping him out. And I think Loveland, and with the running back, and they've got some good receivers. I mean, he's if you give a good veteran quarterback Loveland with the Colts team and their defense and their culture and stuff like that, the Colts can make some noise. They can make the playoffs, yeah, easily. So I just think the Colts are kind of a good quarterback away from being a respectable franchise. I just don't think Richardson's the guy. Anyway, the Falcons. Corner, defensive tackle, edge, safety, linebacker. If I'm the Falcons, I'm going to draft this guy based on potential ability, because I think he can kind of go somewhere like Atlanta and grow and learn, but I think he has the potential to be the better safety in this Nick Emenwari. He tested off the charts, and I just think his potential is through the roof. I love Starks, but Starks is kind of like you're signing a free agent. Like he's not, I wouldn't say he's physically limited, but he's more limited than Emenwari. Emenwari's like, that guy's fucking physically a beast. So to me, in the first round, if two players are close, just grab the guy who's a better athlete. But I do, if you grab Starks there, that's fine. I've had Starks going there for a while now, but Emenwari, the more I watch him, the more I like him. And he has really, really big playability. He's really good. Anyway, I'm going to take a break again real quick to refresh my coffee, and I'll be back. We're back. Yeah, either Emenwari is either going to be like a top flight safety or is going to be a bust. He has that potential. So, you know, that's a tough one. You know, if you're sitting in the chair, this guy Starks is going to absolutely be a very good safety. Absolutely. But Amenwari can be elite. Anyway, Cardinals. Edge, defensive tackle, wide receiver, guard, linebacker. Shoot. All right, if I'm the Cardinals, I truly believe in building the line. So I'm going to grab Harmon here. Derek Harmon is a good fit there. 6'4", 313. He's got long arms. I like him a lot. And yeah, Steve over 34-inch arms. He's really he's kind of like, I guess, in the build of like a Calais Campbell. So, and Calais Campbell's massive, so that's not bad. And it's just, he's a plug and play. He's a plug and play starter, and the Cardinals are in that position to start grabbing plug and play players because their quarterback's not getting any younger. He's not old, but you know, who knows? So to me, the Cardinals have to start putting players in place who can come in and play. They've been missing on their draft picks, so hopefully Harmon can come in and play well for them. All right, the Bungles. Edge, defensive tackle, guard, cornerback, safety. If I'm the Bengals, I love Shamir Stewart. I love Shamir Stewart, but I don't know. Yeah, I'd grab Stewart just because just off of ability. He can go to a team that's already kind of building up. He's got so much ability. The problem with Stewart is he has a hard time getting off of blocks. That's the problem with Stewart. He's going to be a ton of coaching, but when he's done, forget it. When he is completely built, and if we redo the draft, he's up here. So, a team that can afford to be patient with him, or decides they can be patient, I think would be a really nice fit. And I think with the Bengals, he can come in and he can learn on the job kind of deal. So I think that's a good fit for him. But he's a tough one. He's a tough one to commit to as a team, especially if your job's on the line and shit. He's a tough one. Just because he's so fucking raw. He's so raw. It's incredible how raw he is. Anyway, Seattle. Guard, tackle, receiver, edge. This is probably where Banks should go. Even though fucking Will Johnson's sitting right there. They need offensive line, grab Banks. I'm big into line, especially in this draft. If you've got one of the better offensive linemen there, just go grab them. Like you have to pass on the corner for now. You got to go because there's a massive drop off between like the top like 5 offensive linemen and the other ones. There's a big drop off in my opinion. So I would grab Kelvin Banks with a tear in my eye that Will Johnson's still sitting there. Okay, so the Buccaneers, Will Johnson's still sitting there. I'd grab Will Johnson. Grab him, bring him to Tampa. I know they're trying to get they're one of the players in the Jalen Ramsey thing. In fact, to be honest, I think Jahdae Barron fits better, but I think if Will Johnson's the better physical guy there, physically the better player. All right, he's got more upside. Let's just say that. I think. Broncos, running back, receiver. I think that running back out of North Carolina is the way to go. In fact, I think Amarian Hampton he's my kind of back. He's my kind of back. You know, 6 foot, 230 pounds. He can run through you. I think Amarian Hampton is perfectly fine being drafted here, and he'll be great on that team. He's a perfect fit. All right, here's another monkey wrench. If I'm the Steelers, in fact, Sanders is here. Let's grab Sanders here. I think he'd be a good fit with the coach and everything. Shedeur Sanders to the Steelers. I do think Sanders is going to drop. I do think he's going to drop. I don't think he's going to get drafted up here. I really honestly don't. Well, never mind. I shouldn't say that because, you know, yeah, Cam Ward will go here and Sanders might go here. But don't be surprised if Sanders does drop or if somebody trades up, the Giants trade out of that pick and someone else grabs him. But Sanders here for now. For me anyway. All right, the Chargers. Defensive tackle, tight end, wide receiver, corner, center. Don't they need an edge as well? Don't they need a pass rusher? Let me look at their roster. I'm 99% sure they need a fucking pass rusher. Chargers roster. Yeah, I think the site I'm using is a little bit outdated, or they're not, you know, great at what they do. Deshaun Hand. See, they run a 34. Yeah, they don't really have a pass rusher. All right, and now I was gonna grab one person, but now I think this guy's a better fit. I grabbed Mike Green simply because Mike Green, I think, is athletic enough to stand up and blitz the passer. In fact, he might be better there. He might be better standing up. But his technique getting off of blocks is excellent. He's excellent at that. So I think that would be a good fit. I think Mike Green would be a good fit there. But they desperately need edge rusher. Green Bay needs edge. Michael Williams sitting right there. He's great off of the block. The problem is they also play at 34. But I think Michael Williams can do that pretty well. So you can kind of switch these two guys. I think this is a good fit for both these teams. I don't think these two players pass 23. All right, so the Vikings, I would just grab Starks. They need a safety. Malachi Starks should not be sitting here, and he will be gone by there. He won't pass the Vikings. And it's a very good fit. Houston, tackle, guard, well, they need everything. If they need all of that, I'd just grab Gray Zabel. He can play all those positions. They need tackle, guard, center. He can play every single one of them. He's a little bit of an overachiever, but he's a plug-and-play player. You put him in, and Houston's one of those teams that are already kind of built as a winner, and I think Zabel will fit perfect there. All right, LA. They need a corner. I say Barron. Boom. Just grab Barron. Put him right there. Barron won't last this long, I don't think. I think Barron will be taken by then. I don't think Will Johnson will be here either. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's just kind of how it's happening with this draft here. All right, Baltimore. Guard, corner, edge, linebacker, safety. I like this guy here, Scourton. Yeah, I'll grab Scourton. I like him. I like him better than this guy. Grab Scourton there. Or you can grab this guy here. I think they need an edge. I think they need a little bit of an edge rusher. But Scourton seems to be more like stout. Like, you know, better against the run and stuff like that. So, I don't think, you know, the Ravens... They blitz from other areas. They play at 34, so you're blitzing through gaps and safeties and things like that. I think Scourton can kind of do both. He can play against the run, and he just fits them better. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. He just fits them better. All right, so the Lions, they need an edge. I would grab this guy if I were them right here. He can go on the other side. He can learn. He can develop. He can grow alongside of Hutchinson. And if he's as like... If his technique's as good as they say it is, he's going to be very, very good. I think he needs to get a little bigger, it looks like. But going to a team like the Lions, they have the work ethic and all that stuff, so I think he'll be good there. Because he's a little bit of a project, but I think he's got the ability to be really good. Washington, edge, corner, safety, linebacker, wide receiver. That. With a lot of the players they need gone, I don't think Pierce would fit there well there. I think they, like I said, I think they need to pick up players who are plug and play. And there's a guy that I really, really like. I think he's going to be pretty good in this Carson Schwessinger. I think he's an underrated player, and I think he'll be really, really good. And see, teams like Washington, they're establishing their identity, and I think this guy here can help them establish that on the defensive side of the ball. He's a big linebacker. He's very smart, and he plays really hard. So I think someone like that is a little bit, I mean, it might be a reach for some people, but I just think he's like signing a veteran linebacker, like a good veteran linebacker. I just think you just plug and play him and you'll be fine. And he's got the work ethic to come in and take a team who's already kind of on the rise and just have them continue their rise. I think that's a good fit. All right, the Bills. Corner, defensive tackle, linebacker, edge. I don't know if they need defensive tackle. Do they need defensive tackle? Huh. If they need defensive tackle and just to put next to oh god, 91, I forget his name now. Oh god, like these two, we have two really good receivers sitting right here. You know, I'm grabbing Matthew Golden. He's too good to pass up. Him and Egbuka, they're just too good to pass up. And the other guys just aren't as good at their positions. So the Bills, it might behoove them actually to just move up, because they only need like one or two really good players. They don't need to like hold their picks. They might be really well off to move up, to be honest. I mean, they can go grab who's the corner out of who the fuck is he? Hold on. Whoa. Is he missing out of here? Well, why is Morrison dropping so much? Morrison's good. Okay. I would consider Morrison there, but why is okay? This list might be off. All right, the Chiefs defensive tackle, guard, edge. I would just grab Grant. I think he'd be a good fit in a team like that. My problem with Grant is he has a tendency to take some plays off, but physically he's physically more gifted than Graham. Graham just plays harder. But this guy's bigger and stronger and probably faster, because Grant's like got the tools to be really good. He just stands with his hands on his hips and stuff too much, from what I've seen. But not to say he's not a hard worker. He just may not have the endurance or whatever. All right, the Eagles. That's where I'm going. I'm drafting Pierce. I think Pierce can kind of grow in a team like that. He doesn't have to start and play right away. And physically, he's got all the tools to be really good. I just don't like him as a player that much. I've watched him play. I think he's okay. I don't think he's great, but he does have the tools. He's a good athlete and everything. All right, so the Browns grabbed Graham. And they are sitting here to draft again. They got a defensive tackle. They need a offensive tackle now. Running back, which they do need. Defensive line. They got some good, well, they got one. I'll tell you right now who I'm grabbing. Will Howard. Let him learn, let him grow, and then he can take over when what's-his-face leaves. I think, well, this is the guy that's going to be the good player out of all the quarterbacks. This is the guy. And Tennessee fucked up. Anyway, that's who I would grab. You grab Will Howard and you grab Mason Graham, you're having a draft. In my opinion, you're having a draft. All right, the Giants, they got their quarterback. Quarterback, tackle, guard, defensive tackle. There's a player that I think is going to really move up in the draft, and I think is going to be a first-round pick, and it's this guy right here. Jonas Savina. He can play tackle or guard. He's got all the physical traits to be great. He should be a first-round pick. I don't be surprised if he is. So if he drops there and they grab him and they have Cameron Ward, they're having a draft too. So I think that's a really, really good spot for him. All right, Tennessee. He's available quarterback. I'm going to grab Milroe. I think he's one of those guys that's going to have a chip on his shoulder. He does have a high ceiling. I do agree with that. I don't know mentally how he is. His mechanics are trending up. His action. Yeah, see, I think this would be the way to go. He's got some size. He reminds me of Jalen Hurts. That's who he is. He reminds me of Jalen Hurts. So if you can if he works out like a Jalen Hurts and they grab Jalen Walker there, Tennessee has absolutely won the draft. It's not even close. All right. So we got our running back, defensive tackle, tight end, corner, tackle. Since you've got like a few good tackles left, do they need a guard? No, they don't need a guard. I would grab this guy out of Oregon. No, actually, hold on. There's another guy I like better. Where are my guys all dropping? My guys are all dropping. Right here, Ursery. I think he's good. I had him in. I have him. I'm kind of almost a first-round grade on that guy. I think he's good. This guy's really good. So you got your tackle there. You got a tackle. I think he's a plug and play. I don't know if he'll be like special or elite, but he's definitely good. He could be a starter. That's what this draft's full of. It's full of just draft the guy and he'll be a starter. There's nothing crazy. He's not going to turn your franchise around. This draft's full of that, in my opinion. All right, the Raiders, they already grabbed their corner/receiver. There's a defensive tackle. They need a corner. I grab Rebel here. I think Rebel's got all the ability and the talent in the world. And also, not just that. That gives the Raiders 2 good corners and also the flexibility to play Travis Hunter more at receiver. So if Rebel works out to be like a really good corner, that takes like I said, it takes the pressure off of them going, hey, you have to play corner because we don't have anybody. Rebel takes that off. So now we've got the best corner/receiver in the draft. You can play him wherever. You don't have to play him both ways full time if he works out to be a decent full-time corner. So I think that's a nice draft for the Raiders. And you're building on the back end. You just got to start building on in the middle and the front end later on. All right. So the Patriots. I'm grabbing Egbuka here. Give him a. I think Egbuka can be a #1 receiver in the league. I'm very high on him. Every time I watched him play, he was always making plays, but this guy was throwing to him, so who knows? But I think Egbuka can be really good. And you get a top-flight receiver dropping to them after getting the best offensive lineman of the draft. So I think that the Patriots will be trending in a really good direction. The Bears, where did we get the Bears? We gave the Bears Jaheed Campbell. That's right, I forgot you can kind of click on them and see who they got. Yeah, all right. So the Bears, tackle, running back, edge, linebacker. I don't think they need a fucking running back. I grabbed Josh Connerly. I think he's got a lot of potential. Yeah, athleticism, body control. Okay, foot speed, redirection. Projects to be more of a zone-oriented system. I don't know if they run a zone. If they run a zone, it's a good one. Yeah, so I would take him. I just think he's got potential to be really good. And plus, you're getting the best available tackle. To be honest, you're just getting the best available tackle in the draft. If they needed a guard, I would have went that direction, but because I think the guards are right now better than the tackles, but we'll see. All right, so the Saints, we grabbed them, an offensive lineman. The Saints here, I would definitely grab a running back. I just don't know which one I'd grab. What do they need here? Oh, guard. Shit. We got them a tackle. Let's just grab Tyler Booker. Start building that line. Build this. Just quietly build the team you're supposed to be building. So we have, for the Saints, Will Campbell and then Tyler Booker. You're significantly better on the offensive line there. You're significantly better. All right, the Bears. Bears up next. tackle, safety, edge. I think we got them a linebacker for the Bears. Linebacker and lineman. This guy's intriguing here. Let's grab him. Let's just grab him. I think he's good. I actually think he's one of those guys that can play safety too. I think he's pretty good. I like him a lot. I just think he's raw. He's not necessarily plug and play, but they have the other guy on the other side who's really good. And I think someone like this can learn from that. The Jalen Johnson or something. Yeah, so he can come in. He can just contribute. He can be for now. He can play the slot. He can play on the outside. He can sub in for injuries, or he can come in and start right away. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know how he's going to pan out in the NFL, but why not go grab a corner? So I think that the Bears have had a good draft. Campbell, Corley, Thomas, and I think one of the best ways to help a young quarterback, believe it or not, is to build that defense. And I think you're building a good defense there. I think you got two good players right there on that side of the ball. All right, the Jets. We grabbed the Tyler Warren. Tackle, defensive tackle. Wide receiver, tight end. I don't know if receiver would be good here. I grab the quarterback. Here's the problem. I just don't think one's good enough to grab here. I think they need to have other needs. Tyreek Williams. Yeah, let's grab Williams. I like him, actually. Let's grab Williams for them. I just think the Jets have to get players who can come in and absolutely play well. So you're getting two good football players. You're not taking a chance on... The Jets have been taking chances and it hasn't worked out for them. So I think the Jets are in the business of not taking a chance. So I wouldn't reach for a Jackson Dart. Everything I've seen from Jackson Dart tells me he's not going to be that good. I don't even know why he's that highly rated. If you're going to grab a quarterback, in fact, this is the guy to grab right here. He's got the ability right there. But he's going to be 26 years old and all that. But I think he'll be really... I think if anybody in this draft's going to come out and at least be like a contributor somewhere, it's him. But I think these guys are just lifetime backups. A lot of them. I really do. I don't think these guys are worth taking high at all. All right, 49ers. Defensive tackle. Corner. Linebacker. Don't they need a running back? I don't know if they do or not. I know they have the white guy, but he never fucking... God, my brain's not working right now, sorry. McCaffrey. But he gets hurt and shit, so they need another guy. Defensive tackle, corner, linebacker, edge. Yeah, I like this guy a lot here. This is the guy I like right here. Give him that as an edge. Boom. All right. Cowboys, we grabbed the receiver, so now they need running back, edge, guard, corner. I'd grab Donovan Jackson here. Start building that lineup. And I think with those two players, it makes your offense significantly better. I know they need a running back, but you can get one later. I do think this running back class is a little bit overrated, but I do think you can get one later. I think people will be passing on running backs. All right, the Colts. We got them a tight end. They need a center and a guard. And linebacker, quarterback. Let's just grab this Millum. They need a guard? Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, so we got the Colts have a guard and a tight end. Boom. Helping that offense. Because their defense is solid. Their defense is solid. They could build on it, but their defense is solid. All right, the Falcons have... they grabbed the safety and defensive tackle, edge, safety, linebacker. So we grabbed the safety. I don't think he's worth it. All High floor, high ceiling. Okay, let's grab him. I haven't seen too much of him, but from what I've just read there, he seems like a good fit. He seems like a really good fit. He's got the ability to be a full-time guy. He does have good size. I love his size. So, yeah, it might be a really good fit for them, actually. All right, so the Falcons have got 2 physically gifted players, which you can't ask for anything more than that. All right, Cardinals, we got them a defensive tackle. They're looking for an edge, wide receiver, guard, linebacker. We got them a tackle, I think. There's no more edges to go reach for, I don't think. Maybe him? See, the knocks on him is my knocks on some of these other guys that are higher. Is that they're kind of play light on their feet. Special IQ to thrive in gap pursuit. His best role could be a pass rushing specialist on 34 scheme. They don't run a 34, I don't think. Let's grab Burden here, just to put another guy next to. Burden to me it can be a really good slot receiver. So. Yeah, it's a slot receiver. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a slot receiver. Which is fine. I think these 2 players make the Cardinals better. Like you can, they just got 2 starters. Just a starting slot receiver and a starting defensive tackle. You can't ask for anything more than that. All right, so the Dolphins desperately need a corner, and they desperately need a safety. I like Benjamin Morrison. That's who I would grab for the Miami Dolphins, even though Trey Amos is fine. So, but Dolphins grab a corner, and they have Josh Simmons, who I love, who I've been giving them for a while now, on and off. But yeah, the Dolphins are handcuffed. They have to draft corner, safety, and offensive tackle. They have to. They can't just take a chance on someone. They have to draft those positions. So hopefully these people drafted them. All right, the Bengals. We have the edge there for them. Okay, defensive tackle, guard, corner, safety. Let's grab them Trey Amos, best corner available, and just another kind of plug and play guy. I think he can play slot as well. So yeah, building that defense. Seattle got him a tackle. They need a guard. Is there a guard here worth grabbing? It's weird. I like this guy a lot. The problem is he could have a short career. He is physically gifted, but it'd be tough to pass up on him here, to be honest. Let's grab Wilson. Let's grab Jared Wilson. I know they needed a guard, but he can play guard, or they can put their center at guard. So you're getting one of the best centers in the draft, and centers are pretty versatile. They can play multiple positions. So I just think as far as offensive lineman goes, Ratledge is probably the better player, but Wilson will have the longer career, and he does seem to have an upside, it says. So that's where I would go. All right, so the Broncos, we grabbed a running back, wide receiver, linebacker, corner, tight end. Yeah, let's grab him here. Mason Taylor. I think this is Jason Taylor's fucking kid, actually. He's kind of a receiving tight end, but it gives him another option for Knicks. Yeah, now we have a running game and a tight end, which is beautiful. You're building within the hash marks, and yeah, I think the Broncos are gonna be fucking really on their way up. All right, Seattle again. Guard, tackle, wide receiver. Who do we got for them? So we got him a tackle and an interior lineman, receiver, corner, edge. All right, let's grab him. Let's grab Harris. I don't know much about him, but he seems good. Sorry, I hate to give that answer. I don't know. All right, the Buccaneers have grabbed Will Johnson. Got lucky. Safety, edge, linebacker. I like that guy, actually. So I think he would fit well. There's another linebacker. Where the hell is he? Oh, Barrett Carter. All right. Let's grab Watts, the best safety available. I don't like his height, but it is what it is. Grab Watts. Grab Watts there. It's not a bad pick at all. So, I don't know if he's a starter right off the bat, but you got the best safety available. All right, so the Packers, they got their edge. Boom. And I think this guy here is a nice fit, Harrison. He's like a scrappy guy. He'll be good at like number 2 or a slot or just a good kind of like chess piece. And then you've got your starting edge. So I think Green Bay's had a really good draft so far. All right, the Chargers, they got an edge. Wide receiver, defensive tackle, linebacker. You know, I like this guy here because he can play end in a 30 and a 34. Let's draft him there. I think they're gonna switch to a 34. All right, Bills. They play a 43 defense. Where did we get them for them before? We got them. Oh no, God, we got gold. Hell yeah! All right, corner, defensive tackle, edge. Yeah, let's get him. He's got the potential to be good, and he doesn't have to be the number 1 guy. So you got a nice, good defensive tackle to pair with the number 91. I don't remember his name. Is it Houston, something like that? But and plus, you know, just with a defensive head coach, he's going to learn there and grow, and then kind of, you know, get the most out of his potential with a defensive head coach. So I think that's a good move. All right, Carolina. I got Abdul Carr. Oh my God, hell yeah! All right, so corner, center, safety, edge. Rutledge, I think, can play center. I don't know if I'd grab him though. Let's grab this guy here. That was looking at him. Higgins. Get him a receiver. So we have a physically gifted edge and a physically gifted receiver. Let's see how that works out. All right, so Houston got Gray Zabel. So they need some more linemen. They need to focus on the line. I think a good spot for Rutledge would be here. I think he's a plug-and-play guy. I don't know how long his career will be, and I know he's got the lower body injuries, but again, you got a guy who can play in the middle, and also Gray Zabel can move into center. He plays really well at center, so you got 2 guys you can put in the middle as rotational guys or starters or whatever you need to do. So you're bolstering the line, and you know they've had where they're drafting's tough to get like really good tackles. So I think there's 1 or 2 left they can go grab or take a chance on. But anyway, I think that'd be a nice fucking draft for them. Yeah, I think Rutledge will come in and start. I think both these guys can come in and start. I think get a starting guard and a starting center. And then Rutledge, like I said, you just maybe have to replace him eventually. He might be an injury-prone guy, but when he's in, it'll probably be good. We'll see. We'll see. But I do like Rutledge as a player. He's a really good athlete. The Ravens got Nick Scorton, who was a perfect fit for them. Guard, corner, edge, linebacker, safety. This guy I like. The problem is he's too goddamn small. All right, let's get him Winston. I like him, actually. I like him a lot. Yeah, he'd be... Oh, my God. Him and Hamilton on the back, if he grows to be a good NFL player, forget it. I mean, you got all kind of length and, like, you know, they can cover so much of the field with those two guys. That'd be a nice pick for them. All right, the Lions. Lions, we grabbed an edge, okay. Corner, edge, linebacker, safety. No. Edge, guard, corner, safety, receiver. We got them an edge before, right? Yeah. I don't like boom or bust for teams like that. Guards available. Emory Jones. He's a mauler at run blocker. Let's go. Draft Jones, put him inside. Let's go. Let's go. I think it'd be a great move for them. All right, Washington. Got him a linebacker, which was beautiful. Edge, corner, safety. Linebacker, receiver. What did we get him? Linebacker. They need a tight end because I actually like this guy here a lot. Kyle Williams I like too. Yeah, let's get him. Is it Beck? Yeah. No, not Beck. Where was he? Kyle Williams. Right, boom. Perfect. Perfect spot for them. Because he, if he's a crisp route runner and everything like that, they can put him in right away, and he'll play well with Daniels. He'll play really well with Daniels there. So I think Washington, my Commanders are having a good draft. I keep saying my Commander, my second favorite team. So yeah, we got two good players there. All right, the Bills. Golden, so defensive tackle. They need a corner. So I don't think we drafted him a corner. No, we didn't. Let's grab Porter. If he's a boomer bust and has potential, like I said, go into a defensive head coach who knows his shit. Might be really good. He's 6'2", 195. He might end up being good. Somewhere like that, he'll work out. All right, the Chiefs. We got him a defensive tackle. Edge, offensive tackle. Let's grab him. He's got potential. I don't think he's great yet, but I think he's got potential. And I think somewhere like Kansas City, he would fit well. All right. So we got them an edge. Guard, corner, defensive tackle. Offensive tackle. Let's grab Malford Collins. I actually like him. 6'5", 332. I don't think he's going to fall this far. I say day two. I don't know. With his size and his athleticism, I don't know if he'll drop that far, but we'll see. Like I said, this list could be wrong too. I don't know. The Giants are having a draft. All right, so tackle, guard, defensive tackle, tight end. All right, here we go. One of my favorite guys in the draft right here. Very, very productive pass catching tight end. You pair that with Neighbors and the new quarterback and the new lineman. They're having themselves a beautiful draft. All right, the Chiefs are up again. He's having a good draft too. I'm grabbing this guy for them. simply because I think he can move into, he can play like in like different, like dime and nickels and things like that. I think he's a good player, just small. So, but I don't know if he's a starter upside. I think he's a good chess piece. That's kind of where I think he is. And with Kansas City, if it's perfect. All right, the Browns. Browns are a draft too. Will Howard, Mason Graham. I would grab a running back here, but I would grab a bigger one for them. Yeah, let's grab this guy here. Let's grab Caleb Johnson. Boom. Running back Iowa. They're having a draft. They're having a draft. All right, the Raiders. We've gotten them a receiver and 2 corners, basically. We've got them 3 positions at 2. You know, we filled 3 positions with 2 players, which is great. So the Raiders running back. I like this guy a lot. Judkins. That's what I would grab for them. Boom. So they got the running back. I think he can come in and be a starter right off the bat. I think that guy's really good. So the Raiders, in fact, the Raiders are the draft I really like. All right, the Patriots. You have a receiver and a tackle. He's fucking huge. Receiver. Did we get them a receiver? Oh, hell yeah, we got a receiver. They need a guard, though. See if there's any guards here. Cameron Williams. Sounds like a guard to me. Yeah, sounds like a guard to me. Let's grab Williams. He's got all the ability in the world, and he sounds like he can play guard. So we've got... I mean, I think the Patriots are basically... Unless this guy just sucks, they've hit on everything. Like, they've hit on a bunch of their needs. All right, the... Jacksonville, maybe, yeah. Jacksonville's had a good draft too, but they need more than that. So, defensive tackle, tight end. There's some good tight ends left, I think. Drops over the middle. Fuck. All right. All right, he's got a good motor. Let's grab that guy. Let's grab that guy. Yeah, there we go. Good draft so far. All right, the Saints. 2 linemen. Just the Saints are just building right, baby. I would grab Henderson here. Boom. Got one of the best running backs in the draft, or drop right down to you. With 2 top-tier linemen, they might have had the Saints might have had the best draft so far. As far as quality-wise, they might have had the best draft. All right, well, the Bears, too. The Bears have had a good draft. All right, tackle, running back, safety edge, linebacker. All right, let's grab this guy, Birch. Physically dominant, gifted guy. He can take a little bit of a chance. He looks more like a bull rusher than anything. But I think you really bolstered your defense and got an offensive lineman. I think that's a good draft for the Bears. I know they need running back. I don't think that that's their priority. I just don't. Unless they lost one of those guys that I'm looking at. I think Johnson can be the 3-down guy, and then Swift can kind of come in. The problem is Swift can't stay healthy. That's his biggest fucking problem. That's his biggest problem is he can't stay fucking healthy. Warren, Williams. But barring something I don't know, that would be a good draft for the Bears. All right, so I got defensive tackle, tight end. All right, let's grab this guy here. This tackle, because they need a tackle, and he seems to be someone who can come in and contribute. Even if they don't have like a top tier one, you're at least grabbing one for some depth. I don't think they have a terrible offensive line though. Carolina's had a good draft. Carter, Higgins, two really good physically gifted guys. Corner, safety, center. Any centers available? I'm going to be honest. I think a very, very good fit here, and I know I've already got him a receiver, but this guy here I really like a lot, and I think he would be great in a team like this. And they don't have any more players. I would grab Restrepo. He's very, very productive. He's not the most physically gifted guy in the world, but he catches everything. And if you pair him with someone who's physically gifted, you've got two really good receivers, along with Abdul Carter. They're going to be significantly better with this draft. I think significantly better. I know they do need other things, but they're not like completely terrible at offense. They're talented. Carolina's talented. They just got to put the right players in place. And I think someone like Restrepo can come in and be a really good slot. And they have Higgins who can come in and play right off the bat. Abdul Carter just a plug and play, best player on the defense. I think they'd knock it out of the park with that draft. That's just my opinion. I think Carolina would be significantly better with that draft. All right, San Fran. So we got an edge. I like San Fran's draft. Holy shit, edge and tackle. Okay. Linebacker, edge, guard. You know what? Fuck this shit. Let's get him this guy. Two good young edges. You can put them in the rotation, grow them as players, and I think you're doing really well there. All right, the Cowboys got a really good guard and a really good receiver. They do need a running back, which a good running back is going to be sitting right there. So let's look at the running back position. Giddens, who I like a lot. Let's grab Scadaboo. I think he looks like a Dallas Cowboy to me. Scadaboo, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Give him a short, compact guy that runs people over. I think it's a good draft for them. Now you can get another running back too, but I think that's a good draft for them. Scadaboo's either going to kind of take the league by storm or he's going to be terrible. So if I'm the Cowboys, I do draft another running back later on. I go out and grab like a Martinez or something like that. But I think Scadaboo can be interesting in the NFL. All right, so the Patriots have had a very good draft. Two linemen, a receiver. They do need a corner. There are some good corners left. We got them a receiver. You know what? Let's grab them another receiver. Let's grab Noel. Let's grab them two good receivers. Two good linemen, two good receivers. That offense is instantly bolstered. I do know they need to go defense, and it'll probably go more defense than I'm going. But I think if you give him those tools there with the linemen and the two receivers, that offense is a lot more well-rounded. A lot more with that running back. I think you've instantly made your team pretty much a lot better. I do know they need more on defense, but with his scheme and his style of defense, they can get by with their defense is good the way it is now. But and they have some cap space, and players are going to get cut, so you can build your defense a little bit more that way this year. But I really like what if the Patriots go this way, they would be happy. All right, Cardinals. Defensive tackle and receiver. They got two good fucking players right there. Hell yeah. Edge, defensive tackle. Guard, linebacker. Grab Barrett Carter. Might have a little chip on his shoulder. He's only 6 foot 230, but from what they're talking about him, he's a 5-star recruit. He's probably gonna be fucking pretty good. Plug and play him. And yeah, probably good. So they've gotten guards. Okay, they've gotten interior linemen. Guard, center, wide receiver, defensive tackle. Some good players left for what they need, actually. This is dropped well for them. He can put on 10 pounds with no problem though. Yeah. Let's grab a lot. Let's see a lot here. Alright, either one of these guys, let's grab a lot. Either one of those guys I think will fit their defense, a 43 defense. They can be an interior kind of pass rushing defensive tackle. I think that'd be nice. That'd be a good spot for either one of those guys. Turner or Lott would be good there. Alright, tight end, center. We got the guard, tight end, linebacker, quarterback. I'm grabbing this guy, Show, just because if Richardson struggles, I think he's kind of older and he's more mature. He can come in. I don't think this guy will be anything special, but he can make all the throws. As far as physically, he can do everything. He can make all the throws and everything. So he's kind of almost the opposite of Richardson. And if he can come in mentally and grasp everything, I think he'll end up being a starter there. Now, long term, no. But I think he can short term kind of come in and play well. So I think you get a good value there. All right. And I don't like him at all. The Bengals. Edge, defensive tackle, guard. We got him an edge and a corner. Now they got the Turner sitting right there. Boom, perfect. Perfect spot for him. Let's go. Seattle, we have receiver, tackle, and a guard or center. Football IQ, boom, let's go. I'm looking for smart guys. Seattle needs players that can plug in and play. He can at least be in the rotation. They've had a good draft. All right. Steelers, we have Shadur Sanders, beautiful. Defensive tackle, corner, running back, wide receiver. So they need a running back. Yeah. Oh shit, yeah. We need a guy who can pass block. Ugh. Oh, Gordon. I actually like him a lot. I don't know why he's rated this low. He's a fucking run. This guy runs hard. At this point, I would be signing a free agent, but I would also grab somebody. RJ Harvey's good too. I'm gonna be blunt. I would sign a guy. I would grab Giddens, and I would definitely sign I would get a guy who gets cut or something. And I don't think they're your number one guys here. I think this running back class is overrated in my opinion, but I think someone like him can be a change of pace guy, you know, like a third down back or something for now until he gets his run blocking up. All right. He's a good runner, though. I like him a lot. I like him running the ball. Johnson, Watts, we got some defensive players, edge, linebacker, defensive. Oh, they need all defense. This guy here might be the one to go to there. He can go on a team that's well coached defensively and learn. And if he's got any kind of potential, you can kind of see it there. So I think it's a good fit. You shouldn't drop anymore. All right, Broncos, running back, tight end, linebacker, corner. So I don't know what these guys can do is the problem. His age. How fucking old is he? I don't think age really matters on linebacker, to be honest. Doesn't matter that much. Let's grab him. Sounds like he should be going higher, but his age knocks him down, so you got a good value there. I don't think age is that big of a deal with linebackers. I really don't. I think if you get 5 or 6, 7 good years out of a linebacker, you're fine. If he's 25, you get 5 good years out of him, you're doing good. Just get the rookie contract. If he's good through the rookie contract, you've got a winner. All right, Sander, we got defensive tackle and edge. They need tight end. Where's the other tight end? There was another tight end. Oh, Ferguson. Let's grab him. Boom. Boom. Ferguson might go higher than this. Don't be surprised. I know he was rated a little bit higher than this. I don't know why. He's kind of been knocked down, but I don't know why. Edge, corner, receiver. They've got edge in a corner. Defensive tackle, linebacker. Who's this guy? Oh, shit. I meant to draft the other guy. Let's grab Knight. They need what, linebacker? They need a linebacker? Huh. Let's grab Royals there. I do think they need a receiver. Jalen Royals, let's go. All right. Edge, tackle, running back. Quarterback, or cornerback. Tackle. Wide receiver. Let's grab this guy here. Boom. He's a big receiver. I don't know if it'll be good. It says sharp running, route running, strong hands. It might be good with Thomas. So there you go. Nice fucking draft by Jacksonville there. All right, so we've grabbed all linemen so far. Fuck, 154. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. They need a linebacker? No, I don't need. Yeah, I think they could draft a receiver that doesn't have to come in and be great right away, but I don't. It's just they need a receiver, but I don't know about that. I don't know about that. One of the highest ceilings, let's go. Armor, boom. 2 defensive tackles with potential, and then 2 interior linemen. You can't do much better than that. At least getting some players with some upside. It says they need receiver. I don't know how much they need it. Plus, someone's going to get cut. A receiver's going to get cut. You can just grab a good veteran. The Rams. Grab Barron. Linebacker edge. There's a linebacker. Yep, Knight. Let's go. Boom. Edge safety. God, I got a good draft. Edge safety is a guard. Linebacker. Got them a safety already. Fraser. Fucking drafts just falling right into place for the Ravens. Tackle, interior lineman, receiver, corner. Grab him. He's got potential. If he sucks, you cut him. But they've already had a good draft, and they can be in a good spot to really take some chances on the interior line. But 6'7", 330, yeah, take a shot on that. All right. This is where I'm grabbing Jackson Dart. I don't like him much, but if he's going to be behind Carr, he can learn. You never know how it pans out. It's a good value there. And they need a quarterback, and they've had a good draft, so I think it's a nice draft for the Saints. I don't think Jackson Dart will not drop that low. Someone's going to reach and grab him in the first round and get fucking fired. I'm not kidding. He's not a first-round pick. Howard, Johnson, Graham, offensive tackle, running back. This guy's interesting. Need a tackle, right? Yeah, let's go. Logan Brown, right? Yeah, let's go. That's a good fucking value right there, actually. That's a good value. He's kind of like Simmons, where he's just dropping because of like an injury. But he's got all the tools in the world. He was a 5-star recruit. Get him at 94. It's beautiful. The Chiefs. They've had a decent draft too. Yeah. Got a nice chess piece on defense here. Got a defensive tackle. Yeah. Defensive tackle, offensive tackle, safety. Now they need a guard. They can just draft a tackle and put him in guard. Let's grab Fairchild. Best guard available. Alright, the Eagles. I'm going to be honest with you. This is where I would grab this guy here. Charles Grant. He's got the ability. He's not quite ready yet. You can put him with Lance Johnson, and I think he might end up being good. I've seen him play. He looks like a good player. So I think that would be a good spot for him. The Eagles are in the spot to be drafting players like this. Where, hey, he's not going to be available for a year or two, but he could end up being the best tackle out of the draft. Who knows? All right, so the Vikings need corner, guard, edge, running back. God, these players sound terrible. Get grabby. Oh, God. Elite size. Man. You need a corner, don't they? Let's grab that guy. Let's grab Alexander. He's from a good school. And Brian Flores is a top tier fucking defensive mind. I think you can get a lot of value out of that guy. All right, the Miami Dolphins back up again. So we have tackle and corner. And for the Dolphins, let's grab Ransom. They do need a safety. So, I mean, I wanted to grab 2 corners. I don't know if any corners are worth taking there, and this safety's good. So I think that's a good draft for the Dolphins. Morrison, Simmons, Ransom. I think the Dolphins are in trouble, man. This is a draft for the next head coach. I'm sorry. It's just a draft for the next head coach. I don't know how else to say it. All right, the Giants are trending in the right direction. Yeah, Placer. He looks light, but that's his biggest thing. Let's grab him. He just needs to put on some weight. You can do that in the fucking 2 months. In 2 months, on the right diet, he can be 324 pounds. A little bit of roids, it can be 340. All right, San Fran. 2 edges and a defensive tackle. Linebacker, edge. They do need a receiver. Let's grab this guy. They do need a receiver. A good one sitting right there. The Rams, they need an edge. This guy's sitting right here. Braden Swinson might be a good value there. I like these guys that are late bloomers. I do like those because they've worked hard to be better. That's what I really like. So, anyway, the Lions, the very last pick, we have edge, tackle. Well, I like their draft so far. Corner, safety, wide receiver. We didn't get him a guard, did we? Is there a guard available? Yeah, he's athletic and so let's go grab him. Boom. Jordan Hancock. Yeah, it's a good draft. Anyway, I hope you guys like the draft. Like I said, this is not a prediction of what I think is going to happen. But like I said, don't be surprised. JT, I think JT's going to be, it's going to be JT and Sanders. It's going to be a quarterback and JT. That's going to be the player, in my opinion. Those are going to be the players that teams are going to move up to grab. I think that JT's the guy the Raiders want, but I think that they might grab him. They might snatch him up. Travis Hunter won't drop. I know that. I'm fully aware of that. I'm fully aware the draft won't go this way, but JT, be mindful, because I'm telling you right now, the running backs in this draft are severely overrated. And JT, there's 2 of them. Hampton and JT are 2 of the ones that are going to be really good right out of the gate. So I think they're going to have some value because running backs are now finally getting value. I think Jihad Campbell would be great to go there, which I think his ability-wise he's top 5 in my opinion. Nolan, I think, is going to skyrocket as far as value. Josh Simmons, I absolutely love to the Dolphins. Carson Schwessinger, I think he's really good. Golden, it won't drop this far, but if he drops here, that'll be great for them. Will Howard, this guy's awesome. He's going to go in the first round, I think. Milroe from Alabama. That might be the way to go for them. Agbuka to the fucking Patriots, beautiful. I mean, Morrison to the Dolphins. Yeah, Fannin, this guy's really good and underrated. Miles Frazier dropped right to them. I liked the draft they had. Restrepo, Higgins, and Carter. It's a great draft. 2 receivers, 2 linemen. Yeah. I thought everybody had a decent draft. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. I don't know if I'll live stream the draft or whatever. I don't think I will. I'll probably react to it. But anyway, hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for coming by.